You've come to fight as 3 men. And 3 men you are. What will you do without freedom?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Godly Potential YouTube channel. This video is going to be a 6-month update to my ayahuasca experience. Now, if you haven't seen the original ayahuasca video, make sure I put up a card or a suggestion in the description or something. But anyway, you can just go to the channel and check that out first to hear about my experience. But a little recap about that experience. Basically, what I got out of it initially was I lost my sense of of giving a fuck, pretty much. I became suddenly unfuckwittable. That was basically what I got out of it. And I explained more to the video. But if you watch it, you know what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. But it has been exactly 6 months from the first night I took it. So we first went out there April 12th through the 14th. So as you watch the video, my experience basically happened the second night, but it's been pretty much 6 months. And I decided I was gonna talk about what has changed since then. Do I still have that attitude of I don't give a shit what anybody thinks? Anything else that I've noticed? And before I get into that, I also want to state that I'm not 100% sure if ayahuasca caused all this, if it was a catalyst, or if it's just me going through my natural metamorphosis that I tend to go through quite frequently. But anyway, I'm going to pretty much talk about it all and just assume that it's a mixture of the ayahuasca and the just regular evolution. So the first thing I want to talk about is definitely from the ayahuasca. And it really is as if ayahuasca pretty much reset my central nervous system, is what it felt like. But you know what, before I get into that though, I want to talk about, so when I first got back home from doing ayahuasca, so when I first had my experience, I was staying at a buddy's house who lived in Florida, right? And I stayed there for, I want to say 3 or 4 days after the ceremonies. And so when I was there, I don't think I really got to unpack everything. I mean, I did because I was there with my homeboy who also went, so we could talk about the experience together, and you can talk to somebody who can relate and who could follow you. But it was still like I wasn't at home, so I wouldn't like extremely comfortable as I would be if I was at the house. So anyway, after that, I go back home, and that's when I really went through my integration phase. Because when you take this medicine, they advise or recommend you go through an integration phase. Well, we all go through the integration phase, but they advise while in this phase that you stick to the diet that you were on when leading up to doing ayahuasca. So a light vegetarian diet, vegan if possible. Try to stay away from meats, which wasn't a problem for me because I don't eat meat. Well, I eat fish, but I pretty much sustained from that for a while too. What else? Yeah, and also, they also recommend that you don't go back to work right away. Like, you pretty much want to stay at home and just chill out in a controlled environment around people who won't feed you negative energy, negativity, and all that shit. But so when I got back home, that's when the integration phase really happened. And I must say that I was confused. It was like, it was strange for a while. And I think it had something to do with something else that I'm gonna bring up later. So I'm gonna just say that part for that. But yeah, just know that the integration phase, it was something else. It was different. It was not gonna lie, for me it was kind of scary because I'm like, damn, is this gonna be my natural state for a while now? I'm like, oh man, I guess I gotta get used to it. But it was just the integration phase, just my vibration getting accustomed to everything. Then the fact that I just got out of the military the month before that, so that was a huge shock. It was just like a lot of life changes going on, so it was hella confusing. And then on the medicine, like your vibration is so high, like you're in your higher chakras, so it can be difficult to ground yourself, if you don't know how to do it, right? So I was floating a lot of days, but luckily I didn't have a job, and so I was just pretty much going to school online. But yeah, that was fucking confusing. But anyway, back to what I was saying. One thing I know for sure that I got from ayahuasca is it felt as if my central nervous system was resetted. May not be the case, but that's what I'm going to say it is. And basically what I mean is, one of my intentions going there was I wanted to get rid of all addictions. And one of the addictions I had was caffeine addiction. Now, I developed this caffeine addiction. Like, I know most of Americans have a caffeine addiction, but mine was a little more severe because my daily routine for the past, I would say 3 years was wake up, take a pre-workout, go to the gym, and then later that night when I was at work, because I worked mid-shift, I would drink a tall can of Monster just to stay awake. Now, mind you, those pre-workouts I was taking, it wasn't no weak pre-workout. It wasn't like the little amateur shit. It was some strong shit. I want to say a scoop had like, I don't know, 600 milligrams of caffeine in there. And as a reference or whatever, the typical Red Bull has 150 milligrams of caffeine, if I'm not mistaken, for the whole can. And so I was taking all that caffeine to work out, and then later that night I was drinking all that. So that was the last 3 years, but the last 8 years, I was still doing the pre-workout stuff every fucking day because I would go to the gym every day. I probably would go 5 times a week, so you can do the math on that, same pre-workout. So once I got out the military, I knew like this is not good. And so I tried to cut it, and it was like going through an addiction. So anyway, that was one of my intentions, right, to get rid of the caffeine addiction. So the next day, pretty much I forgot that I set that intention. So the next day, when I was still in Florida, I went to the gym. Excuse me. Went to the gym, and I bought a pre-workout just because I was used to doing it, but I only drank a little bit, and I was fucking wired. So I just equated that to, look, I haven't taken in a while. Anyway, fast forward, I'm back at home. I go to the gym, I take a pre-workout. I'm ready to get after it. I'm in the gym and my heart is racing like I was finna have a heart attack. So I was like, damn, maybe I took too much. The next day, I take half a scoop. Similar feeling. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is up with this? So I skipped 2 days or whatever, go back to the gym. I take probably a fourth of a scoop. Same feeling, like in there, heavy, like feel like the weight of the world's on my chest. It's just like, it was bad. Like I was looking around like, okay, if I pass out, hopefully these motherfuckers will, hopefully somebody in here knows CPR. I remember I was in there and this guy was in scrubs. I'm like, damn, man, I hope this dude knows his shit because I'm about to fucking collapse. But, so I was like, you know what, I'm done taking pre-workouts. I'm like, I'm just gonna stop taking it. Now this one I knew that it was from the ayahuasca because like the next day I'd had just like a cup of soda. And soda compared to pre-workouts, that's nothing compared to the caffeine levels. And I still had that same feeling, like heaviness on my chest. So I was like, you know what? I can't take caffeine anymore. And it's like, that's when like the light bulb went on. I'm like, whoa, that was one of my intentions, to get rid of this caffeine addiction. And what better way than to pretty much set it where I'm hella caffeine sensitive. So that was one thing that I noticed. That was definitely from the ayahuasca. So I got it written down here. I'm just looking at the notes. The next thing, like I said, I don't know if this is just from regular evolution or ayahuasca, but my inner voice and intuition has increased like a motherfucker. Like, it's so clear to me now as to what needs to be done here in the moment. And I think that can be attributed to the fact that I'm living in the now more. It's like I'm not worried about the future pretty much at all. Like I'm worried, like I'll worry about the future when it's productive to me. Like, what is my plans in next 2 to 5 years or whatever? Okay, what needs to be done in the next week or whatever. But in day-to-day life, when there's no need to think about all this shit, like fuck, just worrying. Like I don't do that. Like even when it's small shit, like people ask me like, yo, what are you doing later on? Man, I don't know, man. Whenever shit sparks within me, I just go with that. Like I'll just be sitting at the house and I'll just get the instinct to just go do something and I'll do it. And similar shit with like when it comes to speaking my truth. Like if someone's talking to me and then I'll have the instinct to say something, even if it's like an elder or an authority figure. It's like I can't hold my tongue anymore. Now I'll present it in a I guess professional or a cool way, but I can no longer bite my tongue like at all. Just cause like, and I believe that has to do with just my chakras, they're cleared out, they're spinning in the right direction, they're activated. So it's like the throat chakra is no longer blocked. So, and that might be the reason why I also felt like I don't give a shit anymore what anybody thinks of me. So, intuition and inner voice has increased like a motherfucker. My spiritual strength, it has increased. Like, when I make sigils, like, so I made sigils for, to pretty much manifest my visions, and as soon as I made the sigil and activated it, it's like I knew the next step to what to do in order to manifest my vision. And it's like the universe started working in my favor. It's like certain things would pop up, certain people would come across my path. I would see certain shit that would be in alignment with it, or I'll get the instinct to watch a certain type of video or research something, and then it'll spark something else, or an idea will come in my head. And especially my dreams, they have been speaking to me as well. Like I had a dream that told me pretty much the next step after I pretty much decoded it or interpreted that dream, and I knew the next step. And this is all after I had made that sigil. Now in the past, I've made sigils, but it wasn't manifesting as well. But spiritual strength has definitely increased from that. And with that, I'm pretty sure, 100% sure, that my aura has also strengthened and expanded. Just because, oh yeah, examples is coming to me now. Like, so I've always had like the energy that I carry, and I believe it's contributed to just being a Scorpio, with a lot of Scorpio placements, like Mars, Mercury, Pluto, Sun, and Rising. I think there's like one or two more. And that energy, it's real transformative, right? And so when someone's in my space, or I let them in my space, it's like that energy kind of can consume them or rub off on them, so it would make them look within themselves and pretty much go through a transformation, like willingly or unwillingly. It's like just being in my presence will force them to transform and evolve. And this has increased like a motherfucker, because I've noticed that whenever I'm around people now, like for instance, like my dad, like my brothers and shit, like who just not on nothing, just on bullshit at the moment. It's like I could tell that just being in my presence was making them look within themselves and look at their fucking issues, and they didn't like that shit. So now they rarely even like hit me up or anything, but I know that's where it's from, just because my intuition is telling me that's what it is. So intuition, aura has definitely expanded and strengthened. What else I got? Also, like I said, spirits from dreams, spirit, just messages from spirit in general, like seeing synchronicities just everywhere I go. I'm used to seeing the repeat numbers, like I said in the ayahuasca video. As soon as I got there, it was 555 or whatever. But that has picked up, increased, and I'm starting to see more and more synchronicities. It's just a confirmation as to if I'm doing the right thing or not. Now, my purpose also, that has become crystal fucking clear. Like, once you identify your purpose, like it's like you got a destination, but since ayahuasca, just having all the energy and putting my energy towards that, and especially like you can look at the sexual transmutation video I just made, doing that as well, just putting that energy behind it. It's just like so aware of my purpose, and it's like nothing else can distract me, because if I do get distracted or if I lose sight of the vision, I can quickly snap myself back into it. One, by looking at the sigil I made, and the sigil is so fucking powerful. It just radiates energy as soon as I open it up and look at it. It's just like I get chills just looking at the sigil, just because that's all the energy I put into it, and I can attribute that to having my aura expanded, my energy expanded, and ayahuasca. And the last thing is this shit. So this is related to the reason why I felt hella confused as well when I got back home. So when I was there at Soul Quest doing ayahuasca, I met my twin flame, and that shit it's like powerful is like an understatement. It's like out of this world. It's like they call it 5D connections. Like shit is extremely fucking, it's crazy to say at least. Like you look at like regular basic relationships, this like twin flame shit, like it's annoying. For real. So what I mean by that is, so out there at Soul Quest, met this chick. Don't know why, but the whole time my energy was just drawn to her, and I didn't know why. I'm like, well, this is just my fucking body just trying to be horny and shit. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm not here for that. But even after I left, the shit intensified. It was just like, yo, reach out to her. I'm just like, yo, what the fuck is this about? So anyway, I do. And we ended up talking back and forth, and I eventually said, like, look, there the whole time, like, this is what I was feeling, and she said the same for her. So I was like, that's interesting. Maybe it's just like the universe, pushing us together for some reason, I don't know. Anyway, time moves on, and then more strange shit happen, like telepathy and feeling the energy and shit of her, and I'm just like, yo, what the fuck is up? then I started synchronicity. Videos started being suggested to me. And each one, it was like, oh, this is a near and dear soulmate. This is the twin flame. I was like, yo, what the fuck? So after seeing that shit about 7 times, I finally like, all right, okay, this is what it is. And so I pretty much told her, and she didn't know much about it. I mean, neither do I. But I was like, look, that's what I think is going on. Anyway, the annoying part about it, I say, is because, so they say twin flame is pretty much, they say one soul is here and it splits into 2, right? I don't really like that concept because it kind of paints a picture that you're not whole, but there also a theory saying that there's 2 souls that mirror each other. You know, you got your light and your dark, the yin and yang, and that makes more sense to me. So, like, it's like pretty much you're energetically attached to one another, though. It's kind of like when you astral project and there is a cord attached to your astral body and your physical body. It's kind of like an umbilical cord, really. So that's similar to what it is. It's just like these soul ties or whatever. So that's what's going on. The annoying part is I didn't know I was this sensitive to energies, and so I began picking up on her energy. And so I would just be chilling, and all of a sudden I would feel pressure on my chest. And now, initially, I thought it was just from the caffeine, but then when I stopped taking the caffeine, it would still happen. And then around these times, I would reach out to her and hit her up, and she would be going through some shit. I'm just like, man, what the fuck? Anyway, fast forward now, it's really like her and I aren't even really talking, but I still pick up on it, and that's the annoying part. I would just be chilling there, and I'll feel like this pressure, like actually right over where this necklace is hanging. I'll feel pressure right here on my heart chakra. I was just like, yo, like it's like chill. Like I have no reason to be feeling this because it's not my problem, right? But the shit is still there. The same thing with occasionally the pressure on your chest. But it kind of gave me some clarity because, not gonna lie, I thought I was finna have a heart attack. I thought my heart was fucking weak from ayahuasca. I was like, this shit has ruined me. And then, like I said, when I first got back home, that's why I was hella confused. And I'm like, this is what my life is gonna be now? And just like, fucked like this. But now that I got some reference as to what's going on, it makes more sense, but it's still annoying. This whole twin flame soulmate thing. Just doing research, they say this shit's no joke. It isn't. I can vouch. It's quite annoying because most time when this shit happens, 2 people meet each other and they're not like in the best of places. It seems like one of them is like more advanced than the other, as well as sometimes motherfuckers be married and shit. Sometimes people be married for like fucking 15 plus years and shit, and then they meet their soulmate, twin flame, or whatever. And it's like, now what, But, and I can definitely say that I can attribute that to Soul Quest and ayahuasca. But I mean, that's pretty much what I got from it. And like I said, some of the things, it may be from ayahuasca or just natural evolution, but I also believe that just from doing the ayahuasca, it put me in a path to get to here. So you can really attribute that to all these things that came afterwards. But yeah, just to recap, inner voice, intuition increase, caffeine addiction gone, as well as food as well. Like my body will now, my body feels like it doesn't like any low vibrating foods like fried shit. Like I can eat it every now and again, but like all the time. All right, so what I was saying was like my body won't take none of that low vibrating shit. Like those hella fried shit. Like my body will pretty much let me know, like get upset and be like, no, this is not should be in here. We need to vibrate higher. But So inner voice, intuition, caffeine addiction gone. I pretty much can't eat any shitty foods like that. Spiritual strength has increased with my rituals and my sigils, and more messages from spirit are coming in, dreams, messages through dreams, synchronicities from the world, and being more clear on my purpose, knowing the direction in which I'm headed, and the path I need to take to get there, as well as soul connections, twin flame connections, soulmate connections, or divine counterparts, whatever you want to call it. That was introduced to me. You know, that may end there. It may end right here, right now, like the shit I've learned so far. But I've learned so much from it anyway. Like I said, it's annoying, but I'm learning. That brings another thing too, real quick. Like, I can learn from damn near looking at anything now. Like, if I'm sitting there looking at a lake, I can learn from the lake. It's like as if I'm scrying in the water. They got a thing called water scrying. It's like I'll pick up messages from the element of water, that spirit of water, or just looking at a tree or whatever, sitting on the ground, whatever. Easily can get messages from the universe. But yeah, I mean, that's basically it. That's what I got thus far. 6 months post ayahuasca ceremony. All right, so I just forgot that I didn't even mention if I still have this unfuckwittable attitude, pretty much. Answer is yes and no. It's like not as prominent as it once was, but I can still tap into it by simply thinking about that moment. If I listen to the song that reminds me of it, I can automatically get that, and I give a fuck less. It's like when it first happened, I ain't give a fuck about nothing. Like, I didn't give a shit about anybody's opinion. But now I care a lot less. I care about what's important, but it's still there if I need to tap into it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Tell me what you think in the comments. If you've been to Soul Quest, give it a thumbs up. Shout out to Soul Quest. If you got any suggestions of future topics, future videos, you got any questions, leave in the comments. You can send me an email, do all that good stuff. But if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Also, if you haven't, check out my ayahuasca experience video, the first video I uploaded. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.
You've come to fight as free men. And free men you are. What will you do without freedom?